Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz and the Roundtable Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guys, The Truth, Tooth, and Mr. K.A. with me. How are we doing, people?
Feel good. Ready to go.
Not too bad.
Glad to hear it. And as you know, before we start, as usual, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you share it to your friend so they can tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, because this is the biggest channel right now. It's going to grow. It's going to get bigger and better. The content is going to be bigger and better. So much knowledge, so much banter. So make sure you jump on it. And we are going into football talk. We haven't done one like this for a while. Got two for Mr. K.A. with us. We haven't seen Mr. K.A. in a little while after he disappeared.
Just before we go on, the results of we did the predictions for, was it last week? Yeah, we did the prediction for last week.
Yeah.
TJ got his first win underneath his belt. He got the perfect result for the Liverpool Man United game. It was a close one. We all got the scores right, apart from I think it was a Chelsea. Was it the Chelsea one that we got wrong? No, we got the Chelsea one right. There's one that we got wrong. And but you won overall by getting the Liverpool and Man United perfect result, which was a 0-0.
It's about time, bro.
That his first win.
It's about time, bro. It's about time. We've been lagging behind for so long. But yeah,
it's league to lose, man.
Listen. Hey. Listen, let's not be talking that talk. We're nowhere near there yet. But as you mentioned that game, we might as well get straight into it. The Liverpool-Manchester United 0-0 at Anfield. Truth, go for it, man.
Oh boy, well, you got your wish. You did say you would love United to stink up the joint. It was a strange game to put it, because you have a feeling that United were holding back. Liverpool were huffing and puffing, but they haven't scored a goal for, I think they said, over 400 minutes of football now. So they're struggling going forward. United had the best chances of the game, but they never really stuck it into them, if you know what I'm saying. In hindsight, for you as a United fan, do you feel it was 2 points dropped for you? Do you feel it was an opportunity missed for United, or are you more than happy with the point?
Before the game, as you know, I would have said I'm happy for them to go and get a 0-0. I predicted a 0-0. And in hindsight, looking at the game, watching it live, we missed the trick. 100% missed the trick. Not so much in the first half. The first half, we were awful. Absolutely awful. Couldn't pass the ball to save our lives. It was terrible to watch. In the second half is where I believe we missed the trick, because we dominated that second half. After that first half an hour, Liverpool, Firmino had those two chances. They were dog shit. They were absolute dog shit. And Ollie bottled it in the second half. I have no issue with the first half, in terms of the fact that we were just very bad. The players were just very bad. Going to Anfield is not easy. They hadn't lost until 2017. We'll get into what happened with Burnley. So I fully let me respect Anfield, respect the level of the game, and respect that they are champions in the first half. To get to halftime 0-0, I was more than delighted from what we put up. Second half, I was fuming. Absolutely fuming. And it's because Ollie bottled it, we didn't go for it. How Marcus Rashford finished that game, I don't know. Because he was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah. And the team selection, I had no issue with. I think I called that team selection. Yeah. The only problem is that I said Tony would have been through the middle. Rashford, listen, I don't want to bash my players because we've been going on a good run, but Rashford is not a centre forward. He's not intelligent enough to be a centre forward.
Yeah.
He hasn't got the attributes to play a centre forward. So why he was playing through the middle, I don't know. He was up against Henderson and Fabinho. Now, people seem to forget that Fabinho played in the back for a lot of his career. At Monaco, he was playing he could play as centre back and he was playing as a right back. So him playing at the back isn't as easy as people think it was. Jordan Henderson, that frigging donkey, is dog shit and he should have got raped. And I think if Tony was there to play there, he would have. Trent, what did I say to you? I cannot wait for Rashford to get hold of Trent. Even though he stuck Tony out there, Tony against Trent isn't the same as Rashford against Trent. It's not. Because Rashford would terrorise him with the pace. Tony's more close control, agility. We saw him salad him once in the game, but apart from that, that was it. But we just didn't do it. Bruno should have came off. He was awful. Another poor performance against a big side. Another poor performance against a big side. Donny should have played in that game. Ball retention is what we needed in that game, right?
Forget about Donny, man. He's not. Just forget about him, man.
Leave free Donny. Free Donny, yeah.
Bruv.
Them man there got man hold captive, bruv. Like them Nigerian pirates, bruv. Like I'm telling you, bruv. Free Donny, bruv. Like Gunwood should have came on a lot earlier as well. Gunwood should have come on a lot earlier.
Pirates, bruv.
And yes, Bruno had that chance. Pogba had that chance that you should have scored. But I think if we would have made the changes earlier and got those players on, we could have won the second half. And that's why overall, after the game, I thought it was 2 points dropped. Even though in the beginning I said 0-0. Once I saw that after half an hour, Liverpool had nothing. At the end of that, I say 2 points dropped in that game for me. So it's annoying because we didn't, as I said, it would have been massive. We would have celebrated the fact that we would have destroyed Liverpool's record. And as we know, Burnley have gone on and done that finally. But it was 2 points dropped by Ole. And I think it just goes to show that Ole isn't willing to risk it, nor is he tactically inept to change things during a football game.
I'm just going to bring out a stat here that I've got with United. And this is why, Jason McAteer said about United's false position. In games against the Big Six, I know, I'm calling them the Big Six because they are the 6 biggest clubs in the league. Their position doesn't necessarily show that since, we're lagging behind in 10th. But they are the 6 biggest games, that's who you're going to play. So in United's games against the Big Six, 1 goal scored, and this out of 5 games. One goal scored, which was a penalty against Spurs. They've got 2 losses and 3 0-0 draws. That, and 4 of those games were at home.
Exactly. And this
is that possible? Is that can you win the title?
No.
With games against your fellow rivals?
No.
Like that?
No, we can't. And this is the thing to me. Listen, we're top. I celebrate being top because I forgot what it felt like to be on top of the table past September, right? I forgot what it felt like, yeah? So, of course, I'm happy. And, of course, because we're in that position, we have a shot. Do I believe that we have a shot? No chance in hell. Not with that manager. Anyone else, listen, as I said, if we had Poch, the truth, Mr. KA know me, I am the most pessimistic person in the world. I have no optimism whatsoever, especially when it comes to football. Poch, I would have been Poch, I would have been a little bit more confident that we could make top 4 if we were in this position, right? But with Ole, I don't think we can. The run that City are on right now, and the fact that they still have players to come back. I know they've got a tough February, but I still think it's there for City to win. Liverpool, as bad as they are, they're still in it. With all the injuries that they had from September, I know they got most of their players back, but even still, they're still in it. Spurs are still in it. Leicester, who we'll talk about, are in it. No one can write them off either. Do you know what I mean? So, can we win it? Based on the form of those Big Six and the fact that we've got to go away to, 5 of them? Yeah, 5 of them we've got to go away to. no chance. Not with this manager. No chance in hell.
That being said, though, surely Liverpool, without Van Dijk for whole season, probably their best player, you would say. Man City, KDB is now out for 4 to 6 weeks. Aguero, I don't know if he's ever going to come back.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
Yeah, he's just. If he comes back and hits the ground running, then I think Man City started to lose. But I just don't see him. Not with all the injuries he's had, not with the COVID he's recently got. Jamie Vardy's having surgery, so he's out for a few weeks. Surely, if United put their foot on the gas now, it is theirs to lose, because your two biggest rivals have their best player or players out for the foreseeable future. So surely, if United could get a run together now towards, let's say, April, they have to be in contention, and you would have to think this is your opportunity. They have to take it now.
Sorry, okay, go on.
No, I was going to say, but you can say that for any team, really. I think the league is quite open. I think the people up there, maybe the top 4 or 5. I can't remember. I haven't seen the league recently. But top 4 or 5, it could be anyone's game as long as anyone can.
No, it's not anyone's game.
In terms, I think look at the City, they were playing so poorly. All of a sudden, they put a run together.
But that's what I'm saying. KDB's out. But that's what I'm saying. KDB's now out.
You've got replacement. It won't be the same, but you've got players who can play there. They won't be able to assist the way he does, but
they've got no one. They got no one that could fill in KDB's position. They won this title with KDB 2 years ago, but that season they had the solid company who was their leader. They had David Silva, who was immense that season and is more than a stand-in for KDB. At this moment in time, Phil Foden is nowhere near KDB. Bernardo Silva is nowhere near KDB.
But they just need someone to do it for 1 or 2 games and then bring the next guy. They can rotate. They've got the squad to do that.
KDB. No, this is what I said, Mr. K.
Not to replace him, but to do a job.
No. I know what you're saying, but this is what I was saying about they've got a stupid February schedule. It's stupid. I think they in February. Don't quote me on this, but I think in February they play Arsenal, they play Tottenham, and I think they've got Liverpool.
They've got Liverpool soon. They've got Liverpool soon.
Look at the way Liverpool are playing, though. They're not the same juggernaut that they were last year.
I know, but what I'm saying is, without KDB and Aguero, those are the two. Would you say old guard left for City? Yeah, that can drag them through it and know how to win a title. So without them two, they're gonna be weakened. And I'm saying if they had the run if they had a run where it was just like which they had where they got like Sheffield United, like Brighton, all that, then we would not be saying the same thing. But in February, when you've got to play 3 out of the big 6, right, without Kevin De Bruyne and Aguero, like I'm not saying that they can't do it, but it's gonna be a struggle.
Of course.
Their defense is solid up. Their defense has been immense like last month or so.
But it's going forward. Like remember, people are saying about Liverpool not being with Van Dijk. Van Dijk's not the reason they're not scoring.
Exactly.
Van Dijk's not the reason that they're not.
Van Dijk not being there is mess up the equilibrium of the team, though.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, boys.
It has.
No. Listen, if they were leaking goals, then yes, Van Dijk. Bro, they've been keeping clean sheets. That doesn't change the fact that they're not scoring.
Right? No,
but they're conceding dumb goals.
No, it's not even a dumb goal they conceded. What's happening is because Fabinho has dropped back into the fence, and because
This is a part of it. This is all part. That's why I said equilibrium, because they're having to shift around people.
But that's Liverpool, though. In terms of Man City, you were talking about KDB, who's a creative force. And he's someone that's been having to play every single game because even Pep now recognizes his importance.
Team,
And unfortunately, he got injured because I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't say because of all the games that he's played, but Pep would have loved to rest KDB. Remember those seasons for all fantasy fans. No one ever knew what to do with Man City because we knew Pep was going to be rotating.
It's this season, Pep, man.
No, he hasn't rotated KDB.
Apart from KDB.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, KDB, there's a reason why Pep was leave KDB out of games because KDB is injury prone. He is injury prone. So KDB is guaranteed to miss at least a month in the season with some form of injury. It happens every single season.
But they're never that big though, the injuries.
They're not that big, but he's guaranteed to like miss a month. Like he missed like 2-3 weeks to a month. But the thing is, in recent times, he's had David Silva to cover him. Now he doesn't have that. So you're having in midfield, you got Rodri, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, and Foden. As the truth said, they're not KDB, they're not David Silva. So that's why we're saying, not saying that City can't still come out and win all them games in February, but it's going to be a struggle compared to years gone by. But I hear what you're saying. They could still find a way to get through because they have a coach that knows how to adapt, especially when it comes to moving players around. But we'll see what happens.
Keep keeping the clean sheet, and they just need one goal.
Of course. But truth, to answer your question, it is the perfect time for United to try and go on a run and win the title. Where it's COVID has affected the league massively, right? So it's, as we can see, it's all up and down. It's all up for grabs. So it's the perfect time. But there's two things that I believe stop United from winning the title. The first thing both of them we've already mentioned. The first thing is having to go away to 5 of the 6 clubs, 4 of the 5 clubs that are so-called Big 6. We got to go away to 4 of them. We got Arsenal next week, Saturday. We got to go away to Chelsea. We got to go away to Spurs. And we got to go away to City. That's the first thing. And Ollie's record is awful against the big clubs. So that's the first thing. The second is Ollie himself. Ollie himself is probably the biggest reason why we will not win the league. Because we got a manager that doesn't know what he's doing. He's freestyling his way through this. And he's just lucky that A, all the other teams are flopping and haven't hit the high standards that they're used to. And B, that we've got players that can bail him out all the time, because Ollie must know some Obia man that's doing this, all this judge on all these other teams to try and get him there. But it's the perfect time for us to win it. But will we? Nah. For those 2 reasons, that's why I say no.
I don't know, man. I think we just have to see it come March, April, see where every team is at.
Yeah, 100%. If we get to March, April, and we're still there, then I have to retract my statement. But as of right now, I don't believe we can win it. But we're in the position in which we're in it. We can fight for it, and it's why not? Why can we not do it? Especially when we got that man in the background in our team who has been playing outstanding.
Playing well at the moment, yeah.
For the past month.
This is why I mentioned. Right now, because as we said, the injuries that the teams have is right now, and then just before the Europe competition start again. So I think right now is more important than looking ahead to March. I don't think as a United team they can look ahead to March and say, "Oh, if we're there, March." I think United need to put their foot down right now and be like, "This is our title run from here until when Europe starts."
100%. So my whole thing is now that we're here. And Europe starts in 2 weeks' time? Back in Europe, in 2-3 weeks' time?
Yeah.
Or whatever. From now till then, we've got to put our foot down. And as long as we're first or second before our first leg in the Europa League, if we're first or second in that time, the Europa League then becomes a reserve team thing.
Yeah.
We've got to push for the title. We can't afford it. It's not in years gone past where we're already out of it and we're just battling for top 4 and it's like, oh, we need to win a trophy. It's a case of Europa League puts in the back burner. We got to go for the title. And if we're still in the FA Cup after tomorrow, that can be that to me comes second. The Europa League then becomes last, because if we're in a title race, the Europa League is no longer needed, purely because if we're in a title race, we should make top 4.
Yeah.
So Champions League football is confirmed. The only reason why I ever want Europa League football is if we need to get is because we need to get in the Champions League and we need a trophy. But that becomes the third most important trophy if by then, when we go against Real Sociedad, we're first or second in the league. We need to push for it. The league is the priority now,
I agree.
and everything else comes after. And as I said, when we got this man in the background performing, when we got Eric Bailly performing, Luke Shaw, I don't know what he's been smoking recently. Why he's been absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I've criticised him a lot, called him Fat Shaw and all the rest of it, but I give credit when credit's due. And those three players have been the most outstanding throughout the past couple of months. And to this day, Paul Pogba's still not getting the credit that he deserves. Man, them saying, but man, them are saying, he realized that he can't be a diva, so he has to buckle down. You got man, them saying, his ego got bruised, so now Bruno bruised his ego, so that's why he's performing. All these man's chatting shit, bruv. Like, why can't people just give the man the credit that the man's playing well?
Unfortunately,
again, still not playing his preferred position. When I say he's not playing his preferred position, still not given the freedom to play in his preferred position. He's still playing the double pivot, but he's our best player on talent.
Yeah,
he's our best player. He can do anything.
I do want to mention Pogba's form. He scored, I think is it 3 out of 4 games he scored the winning goal?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And but it got dates back earlier to that. I thought ever since he's come back from his injury, he's been slowly.
Well, when he came back, he was coming off the bench and all the rest of it.
Even when he was coming off the bench, he was changing game. I remember against Red Bull. Yeah. I know when he came on,
the game completely changed.
He has assists for the penalty, and he's pushing the team forward. So his form has been huge for you now. I want to just ask you.
Yeah, he scored some big goals.
Yeah, he scored some huge goals. That goal against Fulham was pretty big for you guys. I just want to ask you, how and why has his form turned around, so to speak? Like, we know he's had the quality, but what's changed? I'm seeing a different Paul Pogba in terms of demeanor, attitude, and that we have seen before. What has changed? What has, Don't
get me wrong. Some of the criticism that he's received, he's probably heard it, and it's probably made him say to himself, you know what? I need to make a couple man shut their mouth like Graham Souness. He's like, I need to make
Souness will never shut his mouth.
I need to make man now, but Souness is quiet. Like, don't you notice Souness, Carragher, all them pussios are quiet now? They ain't got nothing to say about Pogba, right? Yeah. So I think also what it is that he's just like, you know what? I want to play football. So I just want to play football. And if you look at what's been happening in games, right? And purely because we go behind in a lot of games.
A lot of games.
So he then says, do you know what? Fuck it. Let me go forward. Once Paul Pogba goes further forward instead of playing in the double pivot, right? You see games completely change. Bruno, I'm not his biggest fan. Since he's come, yes, he's made a difference. Not the difference that everyone's going on like he's made, because that's not been it, because half of it has been freaking penalties, right? So he hasn't made that much of an impact, but he has. But Paul is levels above him in all departments. The only thing that probably Bruno does better than Paul is score goals, because he's got that goal scoring instinct about it. Apart from that, he doesn't do nothing better than him. Absolutely nothing. But he's buckled down, he's moved further forward, and he's just enjoying playing football. And the final thing is that he's got a team that's a lot better than what's been around him in previous years, bro. Like, remember, this guy was playing with friggin' Pereira, fucking Mayonnaise, Lingard,
Fellaini.
like all these,
like
Fellaini, all these shit guys, bro. And now he's got a midfield where he's got Pastor Fred, and he's got Bruno, and he's got a little bit more quality. He's got Tony, he's got Cavani, he's got Rashford, he's got Gunwood. He's got more quality around him, and he hasn't got a friggin' building block up front in Lukaku. He's got someone that actually he's got strikers that move.
Doing bits, bro.
Like, he's doing bits, but he still can't score against the big teams in Italy. I don't want to hear nothing.
He's doing bits, bro.
You can't see his goal scoring record against all the top teams in Italy is abysmal. Just like anywhere else he's been. Any top teams, he doesn't turn up. He's playing with 10 men when he plays against the big teams. And you lot can go and check the records because it's there. I remember I told Truth last season, I think he only scored against one of the big teams once in Italy last season, bro. So don't tell me about Lukaku until he starts scoring against the big teams. But yeah.
Mando.
Yo.
Hey, I've got to duck out, bruv. The Chinese restaurant closes in 10 minutes, yeah? but just my 2 cents on everything that's been said so far. Bruv, that Pogba goal, bruv, it was the wind. I'm telling you, it was the wind.
That was the wind.
Right, you man have a good one there.
Hey,
Peace
peace.
out, bruv. I'll catch you on the next
Cheers,
one.
man.
Yeah,
Hey.
Jeez. Shit, what was I
That's
saying
hilarious,
now?
bro. When he was at that Pogba goal, I thought he was about to say it was like a worldie or screaming.
That's what I thought as well.
Gas about the goal.
That's what I thought as well. But yeah, he's got strikers that actually move. So when he looks up and wants to play that 30, 40-yard pass, he can. If he wants to play short, he can. And he's just been released. Remember when Ole first came and Pogba was playing number 10 and he was the top goal scorer, top assister for us in that season. We're seeing something like that from him now, right? Because he's like the shackles have been released. And as I said, we're going to see a lot. It's going to be different when we go away to the big sides because there's a little bit of disrespect. Like Pogba's been playing balls out for the past couple of months, but you put him out on the right-hand side against Liverpool. Like there's no respect there. Like a player of his quality shouldn't be playing out there.
I don't think this is, I just think that's just Ollie's lack of football knowledge, because what Ollie is saying is that Pogba's playing so well, I can't leave him out. He relies on individual quality, so he just said, let me just stick Pogba on the pitch.
But Pogba's not John O'Shea, bruv. He's not a utility player. He's not there to just shoehorn. Yeah, John O'Shea's a legend. Don't be wrong, but he's not. You can't shoehorn a player like that in. I'm sorry, but put Bruno out there.
Solskjaer can't do that. Solskjaer can't do that. He's not good. He's not good enough manager.
I know because Bruno's the manager. It's Bruno FC. That's what it is. Like Bruno's in charge. But my whole thing is that that's a bit of disrespect, and that's part of the reason, along with the disrespect from the fans and the ambitions of Pogba, why he's still leaving at the end of the summer. But
do you think if United were to win the Premier League title, do you think he would still leave?
Oh no.
Nah, he will take his
if we win the league, he's not gonna go. But he has ambitions and he wants to do things. Now, there's been a lot of. The thing is, PSG is looking like where he's gonna go, purely because Real Madrid ain't got no money, Barcelona ain't got no money, Bayern Munich aren't interested, and I don't think Juve have enough money.
Juve don't have no money.
Yeah.
They want to get Ronaldo out. That's the joke.
Yeah, looking at the wages. But,
you haven't had money in a while. They save up all their pennies for that one big transfer, and then the rest is all freeze, bro.
It's true. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's true. But so it looks like if he's gonna go anywhere, it's PSG, and then it's just a case of, do you want to stay at United under Ole and keep probably underachieve, or do you go to PSG and try and bring them a Champions League? And you're back in France as well. And the biggest thing is, you'll probably have fans that will appreciate you and appreciate your quality, and a manager that's not going to disrespect you by putting you out on the right wing against a big clubs, but actually play you in the position that you want to play.
Well, another quick question. What's your talking about the title earlier on? What's your thoughts on Cavani? Do you think he can lead you guys? Do you think he should be leading the front line? Or
listen,
how do you think they should use him? Basically,
listen. You see George of the Jungle, yeah. Like, I ain't got an issue with him, but should he be the main man for us? I don't think so. I understand his quality in terms of his movement is very good. He's that fox in the box. So he'll score the goals that probably Martial won't score, if you know what I mean. But
yeah, his IQ is so much better than Martial.
Yeah,
obviously, but he's been playing longer as well.
But he's been playing longer, and the different types of strikers. Do you know what I mean? But is he the answer? No. I'd still rather see Tony there, but I have no issue with Cavani coming off the bench in them big games. As I don't have no issue with Cavani playing up front in a game like Fulham. Like Fulham, I haven't got no issues with him playing up front in those games. That doesn't bother me at all. But in the big games, I don't think he has enough to cause defenders problems. In the Premier League, you need that pace, and that's the one thing he doesn't have. Yeah, he chases the ball. Yes, he's got that football IQ, and yes, his movement. But is it enough to cause defenders problems at the top level? I don't think so. But can he help us to win a title? Absolutely. That experience, the amount of goals that he has scored, and the fact that he's a winner. He wants to win. So he can help us win the title. But can he be the main man? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I just wondered.
Just finally, tomorrow's game. For me, this is huge. The reason why, because KA remember this, and you should remember this. 2008, we were going for the title. And then we had, I think we were 5 points clear.
Yeah.
I think we were either 5
Are you talking about
clear.
8-9 or 7-8?
No, 7-8. 7-8.
7-8.
The year that we challenged.
The Hargreaves special.
I think I can't remember if we were 5 points clear or 4 points clear, but it doesn't matter. We were 4 points clear, and we went into the game against Birmingham, and we knew Eduardo broke his leg, Gallas gone through a strop, and then I think we went 5 points clear, but United had like 2 games in hand. Then it came to an FA Cup game between us two. And
that's is that when we played Fabio and Rafael in midfield? Is it that game?
No, you guys played a strong team. You guys played your strongest team. So you guys watered the pitch, and then you had Nani doing those kick-ups and his headers, and I forgot who tried to flip in rugby tackle him. Yeah. So that game, Wenger decided to rest the team, rest the players. But Ferguson, being the shrewd genius that he was, knows that momentum is everything, and getting a victory over your rivals was huge. So Ferguson played a very, very strong side, and you guys destroyed us 4-0. And for United, it was huge because it gets momentum, it builds up momentum, and it gives a mental victory over your rival. So that being said, going into tomorrow's game, game tomorrow, how big is it in your eyes? Is it something where you see as, it's just the FA Cup. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. Or do you really want to get that win, considering where Liverpool are at the moment, to really get a mental victory over them and really disrupt them?
It's catch-22 for me, to be honest. Do I want to win the game? Yes. Would I play starting 11 that started against Liverpool in the league? No. There's 2 big games coming up, and we can't afford for any injuries to happen. I get what you're saying, and I do want a cup run. I do want the FA Cup. I said it's second to the league for us. Do I want it so much that we go and play our strongest side? No. But I do believe that we can mix and match and still try and win it. So we can play a Dean Henderson, we can play a Lindelof, we can play a Telles, we can play a Donny, we can play a Greenwood. You know what I mean? Like little bits like that. I think we can do and still try and win the game. Liverpool, from the team that they put out against Burnley, look as if they're going to be putting their full 11 out against us.
They more or less might have to.
Yeah.
And I think if Klopp is smart, he's obviously looking at that game to get a disruption over United. Because Chocolates, I know it may not be obvious, but it's a loss. And if you were to lose that game and then you were to have a bad result in midweek, it starts to build, and that's what what losing does at this stage.
100%.
It'll build the perception as well.
Yeah,
negative perception.
I think the saving grace. I think the saving grace is that our midweek game is at home to Sheffield United. I think if it was a tough away game against Everton or Leicester or something, then I 100% agree. If we were to lose to Liverpool, I think it would derail us. I think that because we got Sheffield United at home in the week, I think even a loss wouldn't disrupt our momentum too much. But momentum is key. I don't want to lose the game. I have no interest in losing the game. I want to win the game because I want an FA Cup. But I'm not willing to risk all the big players. So I don't want to see Pogba starting tomorrow. I don't want to see Tony starting tomorrow. And I don't want to see Eric Bailly starting tomorrow. We all know.
Start though.
I don't think those three will start. If I'm
I think they
honest,
will start. Because it's Liverpool.
Bailly 100% won't start. He'll play Lindelof and Maguire. He won't play Eric Bailly, so I know that already. Pogba might start. Tony won't start. He's going to go with Rashford and Cavani. That's why Rashford didn't start in midweek, because he's going to go with Rashford, Cavani, and probably Greenwood as the front three. That's why Rashford didn't start in the midweek. So we can chop and change. There's going to be tweaks. We already know De Gea is not going to start because it's a cup game, so Dean Henderson is going to play. So that's not an issue. But listen, the main thing for me is I still want to win the game. I want to get a result, and it is important, but not important enough to play the starting 11. But the one thing I will say, anyhow, Donny doesn't start this fucking game tomorrow, I swear I will blow up Ollie's house, bruv. I'm not even playing, because imagine you're Donny, yeah, and you're watching Bruno.
For disclaimer purposes, he is actually joking.
Imagine you're Donny, yeah, and you're watching man like Bruno give away the ball 36 times, bruv. Just imagine it. And you got the ball retention to keep things ticking over. And the disrespect Donny gets, yeah, I'm not for it, innit? I'm not for it. And I get that he doesn't want to disrupt what we got going on because we're winning. I get that. But a man can't even get off the bench. Man's watching Mayonnaise play instead of him, bruv. Do you know how soul-destroying that is? That watching this average Joe just playing football instead of you, bruv. Like these average ballers, bruv. This guy that can't even play a pass forward, bruv. It's sideways and backwards. Like, playing ahead of you. Like, it is soul-destroying. But if Donny doesn't start, fuck Ollie, innit? I don't care if we're winning. Like, fuck him, bruv. I'm free Donny, bruv. Free Donny in my case. But I want to win it, but I'm not willing to risk certain players to start to win it.
Fair enough.
I can see United playing a strong lineup and then using the Sheffield game as to rest players. To be honest.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what? Do you know the biggest stroke?
Liverpool.
Do you know the biggest stroke? That's what I would do. I'd play our strongest 11 against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And rest players against Sheffield United.
Yeah.
But I can see Ole doing it the other way around. And do I have an issue with it? Not really, because
I wouldn't as well, because the Premiership is just as important, and they need to seize this and capitalize on this momentum.
I know the Premier League's important, but then do you rest players for this game? Do you play your first team against Sheffield United and then play your first team against us next week?
Well, this is why I want
first team now.
This is why. But this is why, from that, because I'm talking from Ollie's perspective. I'm not talking from my own. Me personally, I play our strongest team against Liverpool, go and beat them up in the cup, rest a couple players against Sheffield United, so that we can go into that game against you lot full strength, because we got you lot away and then we got Southampton at home. Yeah, so my whole thing is those two games are the most important. Shout out to Southampton today for doing the thing. One thing we need you to do on Tuesday, make sure Partey goes off with a hamstring injury on Tuesday. That's all I'm asking from you lot. I don't care about anyone else. Just make sure Partey goes off with a hamstring injury.
He wasn't joking about that.
And I'm not
investigate him. Investigate him.
We'll get there. Anyway, your prediction for tomorrow then. And there's no drawing this time, so there has to be a result.
No ease.
It's a hard one to call, man.
Penalties. Penalties.
It's a hard one to call.
All right, cool. I'm gonna do it again. Me being me, right?
You're gonna say 2-0 Liverpool.
You can see Liverpool winning the game, innit? Like, me being me, purely because I have a feeling Ole is gonna rest players and Liverpool are gonna go full strength. So me being me, yeah, I can see Liverpool win 2-0 in it. Right.
Who will score for them? Because Salah ain't performing right now, man.
They'll find
doing nothing at the moment.
I know. The positive me says that we're gonna win 2-0. But the neutral me says it's going to penalties. and it's gonna be Russian roulette. I don't know. But who's scoring for them? To be honest, in that first half against us in the league, in that first half an hour, Firmino could have had a hat-trick. So it's just a case of whether they take their chances on the day, because it's not a case of, like, I think what was that game? I think was it West Brom? I think it was Southampton that they played. In that Southampton game, they didn't create anything. But in the last couple of games that I've seen, they've created stuff. They just can't score. So if they take their chances, they can. And especially because we're going to be at home, which means the onus is on us to attack, which means Liverpool get more space in behind, right? And it won't be a Rigi running through on goal tomorrow. It won't be a Rigi. It will be a Salah or a Mane. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go 2-0, 2-1. No, I'm going to go 2-1 United.
Fair enough. It's a hard one. As you said, I think it comes down to the team. I think, for me, whoever plays the strongest team wins. I don't know who's going to play their strongest team. I don't know if Liverpool are going to rest. I don't know if Man United. But for me, whoever plays the strongest team is going to win the game for me. So whoever it is that
Liverpool have got it's Spurs, right, midweek.
Yeah.
There's a harder game for them.
But they don't play till Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They don't play till Thursday, so that's all right.
Klopp rarely does that much changes anyway.
Yeah, but I did want to ask the question because I did want to talk about Liverpool. Last 5 games in the league, they've lost 2, drawn 3. I think they haven't scored this year.
Really?
They haven't scored this. They haven't scored apart from in the league. In the FA Cup, obviously against Village Kids, but in the league they haven't scored.
When
this
was that
year.
Crystal Palace game when they smacked them
That
up?
was just before the end of the year.
Oh,
that was just before the end of the year. So they lost 2, drawn 3. Burnley's finally destroyed their records. Their record at Anfield. What was it? 67 games unbeaten at Anfield or something like that.
Yeah, boy.
Truth, what's going on at Liverpool? Why is it that they're not doing anything? I know Virgil's still injured, but I can't accept that is the reason why they're not scoring. What's going on?
So if you remember a few weeks ago when I said that one of the problems with Liverpool isn't even Virgil being out, it's the fact that they slowly stopped scoring goals. I think I said 2 weeks ago when they went like 3 games without scoring a goal. But Virgil does have a little part to play because what's happened now is affected their midfield in terms of they've got a bunch of midfielders there that have not played together before or don't play together. Like randomly, you got Thiago coming back from injury. He doesn't really have any synergy.
Ox is in a couple played. Ox has played. Shaqiri's played as well.
Shaqiri's played. He hasn't really found a formula for that. The one thing with Liverpool is that they are a system. That first 11 is like clockwork. You could blindfold them. They'll know where each other is. They know where to cover. They know where to go. And they've got so used to that. I'll say one of the problems that Liverpool has and what Klopp has had is that they did not have a plan B. And no plan B. And also teams have figured out how to totally nullify that right-hand side. You keep Trent going the other way, he's not going to go forward, and he's not a great defender, so he needs more cover. So Trent's not going forward at all. I don't think Trent's even got an assist.
Did you see the way Dwight McNeil was pissing all over him in midweek?
I'm telling you, Trent. I don't know if it's because he's tired. He might need a rest because remember he is young. He has played a lot of games in the last 2
but
3
being
years.
young should be a reason why that he shouldn't need a rest, but he should be able to bounce back every week.
You know
Maybe
what
in
it
the
is?
old days.
Do you know what it is? I get what you're saying in terms of him being young and energy, but I think mentally is the issue.
Yeah, and that's I'll probably agree with that more.
It could be mentally. Klopp does have a thing where he not drains, but he done it at Dortmund where because it's such high intensity football, you can be physically and mentally drained at the same time. And I think it's a mixture of everything. It's a mixture of everything, to be honest. And also one thing, this is about their forward line, and I've always said this, Firmino, Salah and Mane, it is a very fine line that they play. Because Firmino doesn't score, Salah and Mane have to bang. The moment that they don't bang, that front three falls apart because it's such a fine line. If they had a striker, if they had a proper striker there, they could rely. You got a three-pronged attack. It's not
Haaland.
a three-pronged attack. Yeah, it's not a three-pronged attack. Firmino is a, you know the memes that go around, makeshift number 10, blah, 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 false 9, roaming, whatever. So it's a very fine line. So once Salah and Mane, and I've always said this, even though they've scored loads of goals, Salah and Mane are not prolific. They're not Aguero. They're not.
But they're not strikers.
I've been saying this because Salah needs 4 or 5 chances to score
Exactly.
1 goal, bruv.
Exactly. Yeah. And as I said, Trent's
But
not
he shoots
assisting
so
as much
much
no more. Exactly.
Yeah,
You're right.
He gets
Trent's not
masked.
assisting no more. So a lot of their creativity has gone. So
And there's no goals from midfield either.
yeah, 0
But
goals.
they've got
from midfield
Jota
no
coming
more.
back soon, so he
I
used to be
think-
their
yeah,
plan B.
Well, Jota was his plan B.
That's what I'm
that
saying. Yeah,
was
he used to be
Jota.
their plan B.
Yeah.
So
He kind of stumbled upon Jota though. It's not like they bought Jota to do the effect that Jota had was surprising to everybody, and he was a breath of fresh air. So him getting injured, I would say, was even more important than Van Dijk getting injured for me in terms of them going through the season. So
I wouldn't
it's
say
a
it's
mixture.
more,
It's a mixture of everything that I just said.
I wouldn't say it's more important,
but I get where he's coming from.
I get
No,
what
this season.
you're saying. I get
No,
what
this
you're
is
saying.
because, as you said, defensively they're okay, but Jota was providing them with something that they don't really have right now. If Firmino wasn't playing good, you could take Firmino out, put Jota in there. He's giving you something. He's giving you a lot. He's giving you goals. He was playing well for Wolves last season, but now he's around better players, so he was even more effective. Jota is a baller to me. So if he comes back and Liverpool aren't that far off, then they'll be right up there again. But they have to get out of this funk.
Yeah, they do.
It's a long way down, It's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope. As you said, over 400 minutes without a goal, it's a very slippery slope.
It is 100%. Mr. KA, I just want you to listen to this, right? It's Liverpool's next 8 games, yeah? We've got United in the FA Cup, Spurs away, West Ham away, Brighton at home,
that's okay,
City away, Leicester away, Leipzig away in the Champions League,
Jeez.
and then the Merseyside derby. How do Liverpool get out of this funk when you hear those fixtures that they've got coming out? All right, we could probably cross out the Brighton at home, but
No, you can't cross out Brighton. Brighton are ballers.
Brighton, they don't sit back.
I know Brighton are okay, but they're
not coming to defend.
They're not there. But in days gone by, you could have probably crossed out the West Ham away, but the form that they're in, you can't even cross that out anymore. So when you hear all those fixtures, right, how do Liverpool find the goals that they need to win games?
The thing is, the next 3 are away from home as well. The next 3 are away. Tottenham and West Ham are both away. Brighton's at home. City's at home.
City's away.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, City's away.
I thought it was at home.
They played City at home already.
Okay, the fixture list is right. I'm
is
looking
it?
right now.
Or did I write it down wrong? Did I write it down wrong?
I don't know. Well, I'm looking at it right
now.
now.
Have you got the list? Have you got the list there?
Yeah,
I got it now.
Oh yeah, then I must have written it down wrong.
Yeah, Liverpool's at home.
Yeah, I've written it down wrong. My bad.
And then Leipzig.
But City at home anyway. It's still City.
Yeah. And then Leicester's away. So the majority of their games are away. They've got a lot of travelling to do. So when you put it like that, I didn't know that their fixture list, their next run was going to be like this. Making me think about my fantasy team now. Actually, I might get rid of Salah because he hasn't been scoring right now, man. Just
you're the biggest joke. Just before you answer that question, even though Salah's not been scoring, he's still the top goal scorer in the Premier League.
Is he?
Yeah, by 1 goal.
Whoa,
that's how mad it is. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Mr. KA, when you hear those fixtures, how do Liverpool get out of this funk? What do they have to do?
That old cliche, man. Just take 1 game at a time. Just strip it back. Try and get back to the basics and what they need, and slowly they will get players back. They've already got a lot of them back already, and They'll figure it out because you can't be Champions League winners, then Premiership winners without being a top team, without being a top manager. So I think they'll figure it out, but I think it'll be too late. I don't know, but as long as they don't fall too far behind, because if they get out of the way all these big teams, that means their fixture runs in the next months are going to be quite cool. It's going to be easy for them because like I'm looking at even just looking at their list now. Man United, you don't know what Man United are going to turn up. They're on a high right now. That's FA Cup. Tottenham, if you can stifle Son and Kane, who's going to score for them? West Ham, okay, Antonio's back, but you can take him out of the game. What have they got really? They sold their star striker in Haller. So do you know what? These are tough teams who are playing well. It won't be a cakewalk, but it's not like they will go into these games scared that they're going to get beaten, that they're going to a big team. It's just a tough run.
But they haven't scored, as TJ said, this year in the Premier League. So it's a thing where what TJ's asking is how do they get their form up? Because they have to get it up straight away. You know, there's no time to be...
about these games, though. These games are going to be competitive games. So it will force them to get up for it. It'll force them to... Because if they can't get up for Tottenham, if they can't get up for City, then they've got no hope. But they've won Champions League. This is what I was kind of getting at. They've won the Premiership. So they should know how to get up for these games. They should know how to sort of... They're football players, man. They should know how to just not switch it on, but to know that the situation that they're in and just figure it out.
What disappoints me is that I don't like the body language coming out from Liverpool. I don't like the body language coming out from the manager.
It's coming down from the top. That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, from Klopp.
Yeah, I don't like the body language coming out. Last year,
he's not smiling anymore.
Last year, even though Pep was having a bad season, he never showed bad body language in terms of, you know, we can't sign players, our board's not allowing us to think money,
you know,
injuries, COVID, penalties.
Not even that. Remember, he was complaining about fixtures as well. And
fixtures as well. Ever since the start of the season, he's
got
that whole Mourinho vibe about him.
All
just complaining.
Yeah.
I'm
but
like,
is that because, as we know, we saw it at Dortmund, right? When Klopp's the underdog, that's where he likes it. He likes being the underdog. He likes when he's up against it and people don't 100%. Think he's going to win it. And we saw it, and he won with that Dortmund team with the Marco. Was it Marco Reus and Lewandowski and all those guys and Schmelzer and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? They became the hunted. And he couldn't handle it, and he stopped managing Dortmund, went to Liverpool, took years to build that Liverpool team up. Even that season where City won it from them from 1 point, right? He was still the underdog in that. And they went to win the Champions League. They were the underdogs going into last season as well, or joint, whatever. No one really expected them to win it, even though they were up there, and he's won it. Now they're the hunted again. Are we seeing that? Like Maureen, is there going to be a trend with Klopp where as soon as he becomes the hunted and not the hunter, he can't handle it and the pressure gets to him and he capitulates? Is that going to be what we're seeing from Klopp?
A good point. I've never actually thought of that and considered that actually, because I never watched him that closely in Germany. So I was paying attention to the results in the league, but not really the storyline and the narrative around Dortmund and after winning the title. So that's a fair point, but I don't know, they need to just start enjoying themselves, like we were talking earlier about Pogba earlier. When he started enjoying his football again, then things started clicking. If Klopp can bring back that feel good feeling then and start smiling again, because I don't know, I don't think I've seen him smile.
He loves to smile, innit?
But the thing is, he's a top coach and he's a top manager, right? And it's a thing where he gets the best out of players that you won't necessarily say that are world class. Like, who would have believed? Yeah, like remember when people were laughing at Liverpool when they bought Mane, right? And who would have believed that he would have got to levels that he got to? So he is a top coach and he knows what he's doing, but is it going to be a trend where as soon as he becomes the hunted, he just can't do it anymore? He just doesn't like the pressure. It's like when Maureen's the front runner in the league, he's happy and he's excited and he goes and he takes it. As soon as he goes behind, he looks like the worst manager in the world. Is that roles reversed for Klopp, where Klopp loves to chase?
It is. I've said it from day. I think Wenger said it. I think on the last few seasons when he was in charge of Arsenal, he said there are certain managers out there that love to deflect in terms of pressure. And this is again, I revert back to Sir Alex. You know, I hated him at the time, but obviously I got huge amounts of respect for him. Sir Alex, when he was there, he made sure his players knew he made sure the country knew that Man United were champions. He never ever said, you know, we're going to take it one game at a time. You know, we're going to take it slowly. We're just going to, you know, even last year, Liverpool were 20 points clear. Crap, bro, we're going to take it one game at a time. We're not champions yet. You know, blah, 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 blah. He loves the underdog feeling. And the moment that starts to go away is when you actually become champions. Because, you know, retaining the title is much harder than winning the title.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge thing. Like, we never done it in our Premier League career. You know, I think only United,
Chelsea
and the Mourinho the first time, and City just recently have done it. So retaining the title is a challenge,
Yes.
and you have to get your players into the champions mindset. You have to get your players into the hunted mindset. If not, stuff like this is going to happen. And I could just feel the body language coming out from Liverpool. You have to enjoy being chased. Liverpool at the moment are not enjoying being chased.
They've got a bunch of players that know how to chase, but they don't know how to lead, as kind of what we were getting. So
so I flipping fraud Jordan Henderson, bro.
This is it. Their team is made up of underdogs.
They're underdog.
They're a bunch of Cinderella stories.
That's exactly what they are, bro. They got these shit players, bro. That think they're God's gift, bro. Liverpool fans fucking wanking in socks over fucking Henderson, bro.
It's coming out now.
I hate him, bro.
Coming out.
I hate him, bro. He's listen, there's a reason why Fergie said, don't buy this player because of his running style, bro. Because he runs like a fucking camel, bro. Like, I hate him, bro. Like, all these Liverpool fans saying this guy, oh my days, he's on Pogba. Are you a dickhead, fam?
Remember the question was asked, would you rather have Henderson and Pogba? All the Liverpool fans, Henderson, Pogba's this, Pogba's that.
Henderson, you know, fucking Henderson. Bro, do you think anyone else in Europe is going to touch Jordan Henderson with a barge pole, bro? If Jordan Henderson was playing in Italy, you'd be playing for fucking Spal. That's what he'd be playing for, bro. That's his level, bro. That's his friggin' level, bro. Jordan friggin' Henderson. Sorry, K. So carry on.
I can't remember what I was even saying. What we were talking about.
I love it. It's good.
I don't know.
It is Liverpool United, so
I think with the next two games being Man United and Tottenham, they're just the perfect games you need for a reaction.
Away as well, so
they're coming to play. Yeah. So Tottenham might not play. It depends on how Mourinho feels on the day. But just being big games and being on TV, it's going to have the buzz. Everyone's going to be talking about it in football. So it gives them an easy kind of way of getting up for the game. So it's an easy game to react to. And that could sort of like give them that pep, G them up a bit to kind of right the ship or kind of build some momentum. Because if it was Brighton or West Ham, then I would say it'd be a bit harder because West Ham, they've got a decent team, but they're not going to sort of give it to you. They're not going to kind of come and attack you. They're still going to kind of play on the back foot. Whereas Man United and Tottenham, you're going to be in the game. You're going to have chances. It's not just you having that possession and passing it around, trying to work that opening. So they can do it. But personally, for myself and for my fantasy team, boy, I might be selling. I've got Trent and Salah in my team. I don't know what to do with them, man. All that money in my team, I'm like, I need to figure out how to. I'm getting rid. I'm saying it right now. When there was my rival in fantasy, so I shouldn't be giving away some of my thinking, but I've had enough. And I've kept so much faith in Trent. Oh my days! I don't want to start. I don't want
to go. Trent. I told people from day, bruv. Like, Trent is no good, bruv. He's lucky he plays with a manager and a system that works, or else Trent will be playing League One football, bruv. I'll tell you that from now, fam. With his defensive IQ. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, and we'll see what happens on that run. We were going to talk about Leicester, but we ain't got time for that. But we are going to wrap up on a certain CR7 who knows, I don't know if he's beating the record or he's not beating the record. The Czech FA are saying he hasn't beaten the record, but everyone else is saying he has. So we're going to go off the notion that he has. 760 goals, beating Joseph with his 759, Pele 757, and Romario 743, and Lionel completes the top 5 with 719. 32 trophies in his time, 5 goals for Sporting, 118 goals for United, 450 goals for Real Madrid, 85 goals for Juve and counting, and 102 goals for Portugal. Truth, massive achievement from a guy that people wouldn't necessarily say would have gotten there when he first burst onto the scene at Man United. He looked raw, 100 million step overs that he was doing. No one thought, Quaresma was touted as being better than him in the younger years. But he one thing he's known for is his hard work and dedication to football. Yeah. And he's adapted his game from that flying winger with all the step overs to a goal scoring machine. The achievement, how big is it, not only for Cristiano, but in football? How big is that achievement to break a record that hasn't been broken for 100 years, it feels like?
It's I don't think it's gonna actually sink in until, because for me,
he's still playing.
He's got loads of games left. You're looking at those players when they broke the record or around that record, they're probably in later age. They were scoring probably about 5-6 goals towards the end of their careers playing for low league time. You're probably looking at Ronaldo saying that he's probably got another 100 left, another 100 goals in him. So it hasn't been. And then you got Lionel, who's only 40 goals behind him, 2 years younger than him. So until these two have, come to the end of their career, the record isn't going to mean as much as it does. The record's going to mean more than it does now, but it's still a massive achievement. As you said, when Ronaldo first burst on the scene, as a winger, no one knew he would even get to this level. It just shows the amount of hard work that he has put in. He's become, and I've said this for a while now, he is the best finisher football's ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Goals wise, it can't
fundamentals. You can argue it, but like,
listen. Hold on.
One second. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Fundamentals.
Let me finish.
And
let me finish.
Go on, land.
Look. One thing other strikers that have so-called been more clinical than him, when you look at Aguero, when you look at Ronaldo R9, when you look at players like Shevchenko, Raul, all these guys, they have not had the same consistency Ronaldo CR7 has had. They haven't had, and consistency and longevity for me goes a long way. Staying at the top, banging goals for that long goes a long way, because you've proven to me throughout your whole career, not just a small bundle, but throughout a whole career. I'm talking about over a decade. Wait, so he's at United at his best season was around 2008, and then up until
Yeah.
12 years, over a decade of banging goals. For me, it cements him on top of the list as probably the best striker that the world has seen.
I mean, me personally, listen, I get it in terms of longevity and the consistency. I 100% get it. For me, if R9 had CR7's mentality, he would have been the best player of all time.
You just used the word if.
Yeah,
you can't use if in terms of
finishing, there was no better finisher for me than R9. No better finisher. But I get what you're saying in terms of the consistency and goal scoring and the longevity of Cristiano's career. Like 100%, it puts him up there as one of the best wingers converted into strikers, because he was a winger
the best
of all time, but not the best for me. Best for me. Now R9 for me was the best.
But regardless, K and K as well, regardless of your own personal feeling, I always like to put my own. Look, I don't. You know me and Ronaldo. You know I'm not even his biggest fan. I've critiqued him harshly when it comes to the team game and everything. But what I don't like to go against is superlative when facts, like something is so out there, like LeBron James. What I love is a large body of.
Yeah, I knew that was
well, no, listen. When I love a large body of work. Okay, when you have a large body of work, you cannot go and say a guy that's done a small amount of body of work is better. It's not fair. It's like me and you are
arguments are two different things.
I wouldn't say a small body of work. I mean, listen, like, I think the thing for me that separates R9 and Cristiano, there's two things for me. R9, it was natural, so he banged goals for fun. Like he didn't have to work at it. And second of all, R9 on his day, especially that season where there was a season when he was at PSV and the season at Barcelona, he was unplayable.
I know.
CR7 for me can always be taken out of a game for me as a striker. There's always a way of keeping him out of games. And we saw that, especially in the big games. He had a long time where he was like the Lukaku of big games, where he didn't turn up for big games until he went to Real Madrid and he mastered that. And that's why for me, he doesn't go. I get your point and I understand it. And I'm not going to go against it and say, oh yeah, you're wrong. Because I get the consistency, the longevity, and the body of work. I 100% get that.
When you say consistency, no, sorry, go on.
But for me, R9, for those, like the Real Madrid, obviously he was coming towards the end, and he didn't have as long as career as Ronaldo. But before that, Barcelona, Inter Milan, PSV, like for me, he was the best finisher, in my opinion. But at the same time, 100% what you're saying in terms of how Ronaldo built himself up. And then he's scored goals from when he was at United in 08 all the way until now. I get it, and I hear you. KA, go for it.
No, I was going to say, Ronaldo, even to longevity, he wasn't doing it his whole career. I mean, United, he wasn't. Only the last couple of seasons for United that he was scoring, and then that was from a winger position. When he went to Madrid and then on to Juventus, that's when he started playing out front. And so
he still had 230 goal a season for United from the wing position. That is
no, he did.
More than
granted,
impressive.
but that was like the last couple of seasons. That's what I'm saying. But he wasn't doing it his whole career.
He was still young. He was only 24. You forget how old he was. He was only 24 around that time. 23, 24.
Yeah, I get that, but
I hear what you're saying, Kay, because I think when you like, and there's other strikers that you can compare him to, because Raul had a long career and he was scoring goals as well. But I think what it is the thing where. But then you got the whole position thing with your argument, Kay, because obviously when you look at the likes of Ronaldo and Raul, they've been playing up front from the beginning and they hit the ground running and they were banging goals for fun. Whereas Cristiano, as you said, wasn't doing it from the beginning. He had to work at it and work hard to get there. But then you have the argument of, but he was a winger that was banging 30 goals in comparison to a striker that was banging 30 goals. So it looks even better for him.
I don't really like using the positional argument because it's more of he was more of a forward player. He had a free role. Even Alex Ferguson said that a normal winger would have to track back a lot more. Ferguson allowed Ronaldo to stay up because he knew what Ronaldo gave him up top.
But Tevez did all his running and really did all his running. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't like really using the positional argument. What I would say is that, as you just alluded to, he was not a natural striker compared to the other, compared to R9, compared to Raul,
Yeah,
compared to
he's the hardest
Shevchenko.
working. He had
He
to
worked.
he developed
He
it,
worked
and
on his finishing, and again, this is why I put him up there, because I like the journey. I like the journey. I like the longevity. I love the struggle.
but that doesn't make him
because he wasn't
the best
naturally
finisher.
gifted.
Yeah,
He wasn't
he
naturally
wasn't
gifted.
naturally
This is the argument that all the Lionel haters try and use up. Lionel was naturally gifted, and compared to Ronaldo, who had to work hard. All you Lionel haters, piss off. Because Lionel's the best of all time. I don't care what you say. You can at me if you want. I said it.
Yeah,
right.
Like I agree. Lionel's the best of all time, all over. But for me, in terms of striker, CR7, as I said, I love R9. I loved his football, and if and this is the main thing, I've used the word if he was to be fit, even for 5 years, even for 5 straight years, if he was fit, he would have been. I put him on.
He would have been the best of all time.
He'll break the record anyway, because
he would have been the best of all time.
Yeah, he was a monster. But I have to hold his injuries against him. I have to. Like I can't not hold it against him. It's impossible. Ronaldo's done too much for me to put someone who didn't do even half of what he's done, up there next to him.
Question: R9 never won a Champions League, did he?
Nope.
He never. I was racking my brain.
But he did win 2 World Cups, though.
He did win 2 World Cups. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he did win 2 World Cups, but never won a Champions League. But listen, at the end of the day, you're always going to get the argument with CR7 compared to the other strikers of this world. But one thing we have to say is that we have to respect the fact that over his long, successful, illustrious career, the guy has worked hard to where he wanted to get to. He wasn't the most naturally gifted player. He worked hard, left even his hometown at a young age to go to Sporting, left a foreign country, left his country of birth at a young age to go to foreign, and the career that he's had and it's still going on at Juve to this day, you can only respect the amount of work that he has done as one of the best to have ever played the game. Whether or not, I know a lot of people see him as the best, I will argue all day long that he's not. And that's me being a United fan, but everyone knows my feelings towards Cristiano Ronaldo.
I would love for him to go back to United.
Nah,
just for a laugh. Just for a laugh. As much as I don't like you guys, but imagine going back to United and just, bringing a trophy. I think it'll end his career perfectly for me.
Nope. I told you already. I told you already.
It's the fairy tales over here,
listen,
man.
I told you already. 06, 07, that game against AC Milan away, I still haven't forgiven him for it, and I never will.
Wow, this guy.
I still haven't forgiven him for it, and I never will. But I respect what he's done.
Yeah. I was going to say, just before we go off, are we going to do a little bit of predictions? Because Mr. KA here for the midweek game, not the FA Cup game.
Yeah, we can. That's fine. Yeah, KA's here. You can jump on it. Yeah.
All right, guys,
let me bring up the...
sorry to... While the truth is bringing up the game, sorry to all the Leicester fans. Unfortunately, time
and Chelsea fans as well. I got a lot to say about Werner, bro.
Because of that, I'll include Leicester in the predictions, because me and TJ only do Big Six. Since Leicester are fighting their way, I know some Leicester fans out there saying that we're probably a bigger club than Arsenal now. You know what? I'll include you guys. I'll include you guys for this one. So let's go to the first game. I think it's a big game: Tottenham versus Liverpool. Let's start with KA since he's new to our predictions. KA.
First day game. Tottenham are at home. I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs.
Ooh. 2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs.
Interesting. TJ?
I'm going to go 1-1.
Game, TJ's Mr. Safe. Robbie and
I know.
That's TJ's favourite score, 1-1.
And I'm an Arsenal fan as well, giving Spurs the win for this, man. But I think just the way that Liverpool are playing at the moment, I think Spurs can take this.
I think Maury's too negative. That's why I'm saying 1-1.
I don't know if you heard, but my rule is that I never ever predict a Tottenham win. So I'm going to go 1-2 Liverpool.
It was hard for me to say 2-1, but
I never predicted Tottenham victory, so.
I know.
Second game, we're going to go to Arsenal versus Southampton. Rematch of today's game.
Who's at home?
We are.
Oh.
I think it's...
Huh?
No, Southampton are at home.
No, Southampton at home. Sorry, Southampton at home.
I was thinking, I was like,
We were home today.
I still watched the game the other day.
We were home today.
No, you weren't at home. You were away today.
No, we're away.
Well, you were away today. Oh wow!
Yeah.
So they got a couple of nights on the south coast then.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I think this one would be. I think it'll be a 1-1.
Ooh.
Because I don't think Saints they're gonna have the momentum from today's game, and they will have they played near enough their first team, whereas Arsenal didn't. And I don't think that the players that we have coming in will be enough. And also, there's a potential that Aubameyang might not be playing. Have you heard? He apparently going through some marital issues. It could be going for a divorce and stuff. And I think Arteta's come out and said he can take all the time he needs.
Yeah.
If he
Were
needs,
you saying Arteta's been playing around during COVID?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but Arteta says if he needs time away, because apparently it seems like it's probably hit him quite hard. So his mind may not be in the game. So I don't know. We might not have he's not really our star striker at the moment, but he's a big part of the team and he might not be there. Or he may not, if he's there, his head might not be in the game. So I'm going to give it a 1-1.
I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal for this one. I think...
Who's your scorers?
I'm not sure who's going to score, but I just think our first team is more than enough. I think when Partey comes back into the midfield, I think
I don't know.
Smith Rowe and Saka just provide a lot more than what the rest of the players gave us today. And Southampton's football is very intense, so I think they're going to be a little bit drained. It is a Tuesday game, so it's a quick turnaround. I believe we'll win this game 2-1. TJ?
2-0 Arsenal.
2-0?
2-0 Arsenal, yeah.
Wow.
From what I saw earlier on, I just think them playing their first team and you lot should have scored in that game. I just think when you bring all those players back in, I think it'll be too much for them.
Yeah, I believe as well. I think
Will team will be back.
But I hope, all of them, man, they'll be back. I think Aubameyang's the only one that's a doubt. But I said Southampton, just one hamstring of Partey's, and we will be grateful.
Let's go on to Man United versus Sheffield United. I'll start TJ for this.
Let's just go and say 2-0 McGoldrick. Waste, bro.
This is probably one of the only games that he actually picked Man United.
You know what? Yeah, I could see a 1-1 draw. You know.
Oh my days,
bro. McGoldrick screamer, yeah.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna go 1-0 United.
1-0. I'm gonna go for this one 3-1 United. I think Sheffield United will score first as usual, but United will come roaring back and win the game. KA?
Yeah, I'm thinking 3-1 as well.
3-1.
I like that scoreline.
Tricky game for Man City versus West Brom. I say tricky just because KDB's out, and you can't ever be safe facing a Fat Sam team, Big Sam team. So West Brom versus Man City. Go start KA.
I don't think it's going to be a hard game at all. Man City 4-0.
4-0.
Yes.
Without KDB, they're going to win 4-0.
Diaz is going to get a hat trick.
Freaking hell.
No, so
TJ.
that's my fantasy head talking. But no, I do think they'll win it comfortably. Without KDB, they'll win it comfortably.
Fair
So no, maybe not 4-0, but definitely I would not be surprised with a 3-0 victory. So I'm going to say 3-0.
3-0.
Who's at home?
Okay. West Brom, I think.
Yeah, West
I'm
Brom.
gonna go 2-0 City.
2-0. Yeah, that's my scoreline.
There's only one less goal than me, and you
I think
you said 4-0, bruv.
At first,
I think it's going to be
I was joking.
No, because I think it's going to be a tight 2-0. I think it's going to be 0-0 at half time, and then City go and win it. Like 3-0 sounds like
they barely got out of Cheltenham alive, bruv.
exactly. I'm not a fan of Man City without KDB. I say that again. Okay. I just think they just lack a lot. KDB is like the heartbeat of that team. So, next game, big game for Fat Frank. Chelsea versus Wolves. Wolves won the reverse fixture.
This is a hard one. This is a
very hard one because Wolves are up and down.
Yeah, like Wolves have forgotten how to play football. They lose Raul and they lost Doherty from last year. It's like they're not the same team, a shell of what they were last year. But then Chelsea they've hit some terrible form themselves. So I don't know, it's a really hard one to call. I can even see a 0-0. Like, I can honestly see a 0-0 because if you see my WhatsApp group shit, there's a Chelsea fan in there. I've been getting onto him so much about Werner. It's been burning him, bro. He's been burning. All he does is keep posting stats saying he's scoring more than Aubameyang, but Aubameyang scored 2 the other week, so he's been a bit quiet.
Does that take over him? Because I know Werner hasn't scored a lot.
I don't. No, but he scored in the FA Cup and like Champions League. So
he's talking about altogether.
Yeah, obviously. You know how footballers do. They massage it a bit just to kind of like make him look good. So he was using all competitions.
Wow. Okay.
I know. So, but back to the results. It's a hard one to call. So I'm just gonna give it a 0-0.
0-0. TJ.
2-0 Chelsea.
Wow.
You're confident, boy.
Wolves are awful.
They're terrible, but
Wolves are awful. No Jimenez. But you know what it is? It's not a case of Chelsea's going to blow them away. I just believe that Chelsea can actually score, whereas Wolves can't because they haven't got Jimenez.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's the only reason why.
I'm going to go 2-2. I don't believe in this Chelsea team.
Don't be wrong. I want Fat Frank out more than anyone else because he's a fraud. But I think he's gonna do enough, bruv. I think Fat Frank's gonna turn it to Ole, bruv. He's gonna do just enough to keep his job, which in a Chelsea sense is fine because then they're no threat. But obviously, when it's your own team, it's completely different. But but anyway, all I say is if they lose to Luton, I can't wait for Monday morning because he won't be there.
Yeah, he won't survive. He won't survive if they lose against Luton. Not at all.
I think they'll beat Wolves.
I'm going 2-2 in this one. I don't see. I don't know. Wolves are just a funny side. I don't know what Wolves are going to show up, but then Chelsea as well. I thought against Leicester they were awful. They were
terrible.
They have some puff. And Mount is just playing every single game.
Oh my days, bro! when Fat Frank must have enjoyed that beat when he had Mason Mount, to the amount of times that he's playing him, bruv. Like, I don't know who he owes child support money. Why this guy keeps on playing, but Jesus, bruv, like that baby mom has got him held to ransom to play this youth, bruv, because he is dog shit.
I don't know why.
I don't know about dog shit because last season Mount was balling at times last season. It's just this season.
He just looks good. He's one of those players that just looks good when he's got better players around him, bro. I just think he's just so average, man. Average. I've had people compare Mount to Grealish and that's like disrespect.
Bro, listen, do you know what it is?
Even Mount and Foden, bro. That's disrespect as well.
Bro, it's disrespect, bro. Like this guy is dog shit, bro. Like he is dead food, but because he's got 0.1% of flair, yeah. all these guys start getting excited over him, bro. He's rubbish, bro. He's rubbish. I don't care. He's rubbish.
He's got no flair for me. Anyway,
No,
on to the last game for our Leicester City fans. Big game at the top. Everton versus Leicester City. I think that's a huge game. Leicester without Vardy for the foreseeable future. Everton was struggling with injuries, but they're
I don't think Calvert-Lewin's back for that.
Digne's I think he's out as well.
Yeah, Digne's out as well.
Digne's out as well. He got injured again. Doucouré's out. Allen's out. Delph is Delph. I haven't seen that guy since Aston Villa. I know he went Man City, but I never saw him at Man City.
Did you see him when you looked in the mirror?
Oh, he was playing left back.
This guy. Hey, you got the most lookalikes on this planet. Come on,
tell me in the comments, does the truth not look like Fabian Delph, bro?
Guys, tell us in the comments. Yeah, we did get Ty's brother on here. We got a crew. We couldn't get Ty. We couldn't afford him from Air TV, but we got his brother here. So,
well, you can't afford me, man. If I decided to charge, you can't afford me either.
So yeah, Leicester Everton. I'll start this one. Ooh, would I? Yeah, let's start this one. I'm gonna go 2-1 Everton.
Ooh, who's going for Everton though, man?
Calvert-Lewin, he's back fit apparently. Richarlison's back fit. Still got Sigurdsson, Rodriguez. Yeah, Wolby's been balling recently. No one's been talking about it, but he has been balling. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Everton. Only because Leicester don't have Vardy. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going 1-0 either way, but it's hard to call who's going to score because Leicester's defense is really good. But then, yeah, as you said, who's scoring for Leicester? Who's going to lead the line? I think when Vardy's been injured in the past, they've played Perez up front.
Yeah,
and then they've kind of they've encouraged Barnes to kind of get involved a bit more to help out with the goal scoring. But then, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go 1-0 Leicester.
1-0 Leicester.
Yeah.
TJ.
2-2.
2-2. Top set of fixtures for midweek, boy.
I'm telling you, I just can't.
Some good games.
I don't know, for some reason I can't see a result in that one, but there are some good games.
Yeah, very good games.
Midweek culminating in the final fixture that we started predicting, which was Spurs and Liverpool, which will be a massive game. But that is it from us. Another brilliant session as usual. Want to say thank you to my guys, Mr. KA and The Truth.
It's a pleasure.
Sorry, I missed that. What was that?
I said thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Thank you to Tu for his brief cameo appearance as well. But that's it from us, guys. So much we could talk about. So much.
Help us out, man. Like, comment.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that. All
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
All of that. Got much more content coming out for you, and obviously, in the comments, put your predictions. Who do you predict that's going to win the Premier League title? Obviously, you've seen us do our Super Six. Have you got any scorelines that are different? What do you predict is going to happen? Much more content coming out for you. We've got UFC review coming. We've got our Premier League preview show, which will be back on Thursday as we look ahead to the big games of the weekend, which the star of the show, which it will be a big one because it will be
United Arsenal, guys. I'm ready for war this time.
We're gonna try and get Mr. K on again on Thursday. I don't know if he's gonna be able to, but we're gonna try and get him again for that, seeing as it is Arsenal versus Manchester United.
Yeah, should be good. Should be good.
That's what I like to hear.
I'll try and make it on. Another thing as well, actually, to say, I met guys. You heard me talking about my fantasy team. If you're also interested in that, me and The Truth are in a mini league. It's quite heated, back and forth. Truth is kind of leading at the moment, but I'm chasing him down. I'm the huntee. And if you're interested in that as well, comment down below. We can. I don't know if it'll be a whole segment, but we can give you guys updates on what's going on.
Oh yeah, we'll jump on that as well. You hear it
Yeah.
first here, guys. You hear it first here. That's what we're here for. We're here for everything to do in sport, even to help you out with your fantasy league. We know that you're putting money on that on people and whatnot.
People's league, money league.
Man, are you team KA or team the truth, man?
But yeah, as I said, we got so much more, and we got NBA talk for you as well, because we've got stuff to talk about there as well. But thank you very much, guys. As they say, make sure to like, make sure to share, make sure to comment, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we will be back very, very soon. Guys, stay safe as usual. Keep your family safe, keep yourself safe, and we shall see you soon. Peace.
Peace.